In today's news video, we cover Russian missiles rain down on Ukraine, civilians' casualties, and infrastructure targeted in devastating attacks. Russian soldiers caught smuggling war weapons. Court convicts dozens for illegal possession and use. Spain to unleash powerful Leopard 2A4 tanks on Ukraine. How many will be shipped? Enjoy watching and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on important news. 10 missile attacks were carried out by Russian forces throughout the course of the day, one of which targeted public infrastructure in the Zaporizhia region. The enemy also fired 81 times with multiple launch rocket systems, MLRS, including on public infrastructure in the Ochakiv sector of the Mykolaiv region, and launched 26 air attacks. There were recorded civilian casualties. That is stated in the operational update provided by the Ukrainian General Staff on January 28, 2023, at 6 a.m. On Friday, Ukrainian forces successfully repelled enemy attacks near the towns of Rozdalivka, Krasnohora, Bakhmut, Ivanivsk, Klishchivka, Druzhba, Vodian, Marinka, Pobieda, Volodar, and Prikostivka in the Donetsk area. According to the operational report of the General Staff of Ukraine, throughout the course of the previous day, Ukrainian air forces launched 8 strikes on enemy people, ammunition, and military equipment clusters, as well as 1 hit on a location of a Russian air defense system. The Ukrainian military also destroyed 2 Supercam unmanned aerial vehicles, a Mi-8 helicopter, and Su-25 aircraft belonging to Russia, UAVs. 2 Russian command posts, 2 air defense system sites, and 5 enemy personnel clusters were all struck by missile and artillery fire from the Ukraine. The General Staff of Ukraine also issues a warning, stressing the continued high risk of Russian air and missile strikes throughout the country. The Russian soldiers are taking away weapons from the combat zone. Dozens of servicemen have already been put on trial for mishandling guns. Source: Vyorstka, Russian Telegram channel. Details: since the beginning of the full-scale war in February 2022, at least 42 servicemen in Russia have appeared in court for the appropriation, storage, transportation, and carrying of weapons, ammunition, and explosive devices, Articles 222 and 222.1 of the Criminal Code of the Russian Federation. Vyorstka has discovered this by studying the bases of all Russian garrison military courts. According to the verdicts that have been made public, the Russian soldiers either take the weapons that were found at the front home with them or keep grenades and extra ammunition for themselves. They transport the weapons to military troops while concealing them in armored vests, backpacks, and sleeping bags. After transporting the weapons to a hidden location, they bring them home on holiday. At least 18 returning veterans from the war have already received convictions. Another 24 are awaiting the outcome of the case. 1 soldier received a 2.5-year prison sentence. He utilized the Crimean Bridge to travel home, and during the inspection there, 4 hand grenades, 5 bullets, and a smoke grenade were discovered in his rucksack. The soldier claimed to be carrying explosives for personal safety, according to authorities. The remainder of the military members received suspended sentences and fines totaling several tens of thousands of rubles. Weapons have occasionally been discovered during searches at checkpoints, RPS posts, and railroad terminals. At a train station in Voronezh Oblast, an F1 hand grenade was seized from a soldier after he had his backpack scanned with an X-ray. Later, he told investigators that he wanted to use the grenade for fishing. Those who managed to bring weapons home keep them in their apartments and cottage houses. In Roitov, Moscow Oblast, 2 friends who came home from the war gave loaded magazines from a Kalashnikov assault rifle and a Dragunov rifle to the owner of the apartment they rented. She took the ammunition, and a few days after that, she called the police. In Bryansk, another soldier took a fragmentation grenade from the front, brought it to the service apartment, and put it on a shelf in the corridor. On the same day, He had a fight with his wife. The policeman, who arrived at the scene, saw the grenade and called the bomb disposal experts. One of the convicts got drunk and started firing his pistol in a public place. He found a Makarov pistol with cartridges and an RGD-5 grenade under the seat of a combat vehicle that returned to the unit after the battle. He kept the find in the ground, and 3 weeks after that, he dug up a gun, took it with him for a walk, and started shooting into the air near a grocery store. The court assigned him compulsory works. Several servicemen who took combat ammunition from the front managed to avoid criminal liability. Their cases were closed. They convinced the court that they came to their senses and made amends by giving public lectures in their military units about responsibility for illegal possession of weapons and by donating 5,000 to 10,000 rubles to help children. In August 2022, in Smolensk Oblast, four armed men, one of them being a contracted soldier, attacked Ukrainian refugees at a temporary accommodation point. The same month, in Rostov-on-Don, a military officer shot a taxi driver from a Makarov pistol as the two argued about politics. Spanish Defense Minister Margarita Robles says that Spain is going to send its Leopard 2A4 tanks to Ukraine by spring, but doesn't specify how many of them will be shipped. Robles explained that the tanks that will be sent will be the Leopard 2A4 currently in disuse at the Zaragoza base, which will go through a fine-tuning process in collaboration with the industry. It is not just about sending vehicles, but training the crews and maintenance, Robles said during a visit to the Spanish troops stationed in Latvia as part of the NATO deployment in that country. Robles explained that Germany has sent a letter to Spain asking it to collaborate in the training of the Ukrainian crews. Spain has 347 Leopard battle tanks, of which 108 are of the 2A4 model that our country bought from Germany in the 1990s and which is the oldest currently in operation, and 239 of the so-called 2E, the Spanish version and one of the most modern ones. Of those 239, 219 are battle tanks and the rest are training vehicles. The analysts note that Ukraine's partners from the defense coalition will most likely transfer Leopard tanks of the 2A4 model to Ukraine, as it is the most widespread version. If Spain decides to give them to Ukraine, it must take them out from combat units. Repairing tanks that have been in storage will take time, while Ukraine needs them here and now, the analysts write. Spain's most widespread Leopard model is, however, the Leopard 2E. It has 239 vehicles. But it's most likely that a decision on the 2A4 model will be made. Formally, Spain has 108 Leopard 2A4 tanks, and 53 of them are basically standing in storage at the Casetas industrial zone in Zaragoza, from where Spain planned to give them to Ukraine in the summer of 2022.